Eric back in goal tonight, just how much confidence do you think it just generated from Saturday's performance?
He was real good Saturday, and earned it today. Really earned the start based on that. So he should be very confident going in with the work he's put in.
Devin's absence this morning just tied to he wasn't going to dress tonight anyways, or is it still?
He's still Devin's still nursing, what is nagging basically. So we don't expect it to be much longer, and certainly not long term. But because it's nagging, you don't want to aggravate it, and you want to allow enough rest. So it heals completely. It's one of those deals that can linger if you don't if you don't take the time to resolve it.
On the same line as if you wanted to, would Benson be an option for tomorrow?
Benson could be an option. It's a similar situation with Benson where, he's not, despite his stature, he's not shy from contact and traffic. And with what he's coming back from, and he's not 100% yet, he could probably play with it, but it's close enough that it's probably going to resolve. We'll evaluate that again tomorrow, and we want to make sure we put both those guys, because they're young guys and they're taking so much information in, enough time to fully recover when that's going to happen in a short duration. Because the hindsight, they can reflect on the hindsight they've gained in playing, as I've said many times, in reference to our young players from last year, particularly Quinn, Krebs, and Upi. They give them a break every now and then, is a benefit to them, and now's the time, obviously, because they're a little dinged up.
So will you keep Devin out of both games then, just to let him?
Yes, that would be pretty certain based on, I can't say never, Paul, because you don't know what plays out tonight. Hopefully we're healthy and we move on. And, yeah, we certainly today the rest is better for Devin.
A lot of scoring chances the other night, and we saw some frustration from him at the end. But, realistically, if he keeps playing even half of that, you must feel like he's going to start finding the back of the net.
Absolutely. His intent and compete, work level, all three of those guys, Thompson, Cousins, and Greenway on that line, they generated an enormous share of chances against lines against top line they were playing against. You play like that with Taja's skill, the inevitable is you're going to start racking up some points. So he's just got to continue to do that.
Through all the X's and O's and planning for this game, how much of this game is just about getting your team to find the consistency to play the same way again?
All about that. Yeah, you could deliver the message, Mike, because it is. It's there's certain things you have to do to get to our game. We did them the other night, and no matter who you play, you got to do it. You have to have full respect for your opponent, and if you're sloppy, they're happy and good enough to take advantage of that. So we have to play, as I say often, simple, hard, and direct, and not complicate the simple. So, yes.
I asked Connor Clifton about playing the left side. He said in his life he's hardly ever played it. How do you feel he's adapted to being a right-handed shot playing on the left side?
Good. He's getting more and more reps. It's not taking away from, he does not look unnatural. That's for certain. The way we play and the style we play, I should say, in tandem. If you think about a retrieve, a lot of times it's the weak side defenseman going back for a puck. It should be on a retrieve. It favors you when you're on your offside. So there's certain things that favor you. I think it's more about getting reps for any player to do that. So Connor aside, I think the problem with players shifting to their offside is they just haven't had enough reps. These guys are talented enough to do it, and I think Connor's getting enough reps now that comfort is coming. Greater comfort every day, and that'll continue. So, but to this point, I think he's been good.
Has Jack Quinn started skating yet?
Jack Quinn has lightly, but he's a long way from being ready for anything. So, yeah, And I use that term loosely. Skated is putting a skate on versus skating. There might be a big difference there, but.
Coach, both teams have 26 years old average. Both teams grow up in the same division. Can we expect years of rivalries potentially between you and Montreal because of that?
That would be great because I love the people of Montreal. That'd be a great rivalry. But no, you're right. I mean, it would be for us to have a rivalry with Montreal in that hockey market. The excitement that would generate would be great for us. Obviously, long time. You know, there's some history too, and could think of no better rivalry than having that happen. And you're right. The age and these franchises going through what they've gone through the last couple of years to start. They're growing up at the same time.
Kyle said in the dressing room that you had good young talent player, but you had good people too in these young nucleus. Is that what I just want to have your thoughts on that? The impact of having good people too.
Yeah, that is of very high importance for our organization, from our ownership, Terry, Kim Pagula, and Kevin Adams as our general manager. He said numerous times that character is really there's great hockey players everywhere. When you're dealing with NHL teams and drafts and potential trades and free agencies, there's good players everywhere. But I think we've done a real good job. Our staff has bringing in the right people that care about the guy next to them as much as themselves, and that's been nice for me to be around that as a head coach.
I know the goalie trifecta thing is not a thing right now, but Devon will be back at some point. 2 weeks into the season, how much longer do you think you can go on and handle the two goalies having to split a net on one side of the ice? And what's it like?
Yeah, we don't think about how much longer. We just think about that we have it, and you have three goalies, and you just do what you need to do with three goalies. The difference for us, just to give you a visual, we have three goalies that none of them have established themselves as a number one goalie in the NHL. So I think that might be a complicator to a situation as such, where you have one guy that's used to the net in the NHL. Comrie played the other night. It was his first game of the year, but that's familiar territory for Eric to be ready to play. After stints without, UPL is just emerging in the NHL and working to emerge further. And obviously Devon the same. So it's not your traditional three goalie system if you look at it that way. So totally different than when you think of other situations where you have three goalies.
What would you like to see from Savoy now that he's going to be on a conditioning stint?
Well, first of all, I'm excited for him. It's very, he had an injury in prospect camp last year, couldn't play, and then second game early in development or rookie camp this year, he's injured and couldn't participate in camp. And you miss a ton of experience. We talked about Benson playing with Tage Thompson and Skinner on a line all the way through camp. The experience of that is it's too bad. It's unfortunate for Matty that he didn't get that. So I'm happy that he's able to stick around and gain what will be a real good experience in Rochester, and we'll see where that leads from that point. But the kid works hard. He's much better. He made himself a much better player than 1 year ago when he was in camp. It's easy to see that from the coaching side. So I'm excited to see how he responds to this time in Rochester.
What do you like about the way Victor Olofsson responded to being out of the lineup?
Just about everything. He responded very well. He fit in. I thought we really had everybody going the other day, everybody on the same page. And I mentioned post game he was in the crease on one of the goals, and the goal doesn't happen if you don't have a guy in the crease on that play. So doing what needs to be done, a greater sense of objective, and much like we talked about Tage, and you keep doing the right things. It's inevitable. The right things will happen to you, and he was real good in that regard the other day. Thanks, guys.